Hi, this is Tormod, and I would like to talk about this thing called love. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe I'll talk about it another time, but it is about love in a subtle way, but bear with me. What I would like to talk about is how to turn your story, all the emotions, all the stuff that you've lived inside out, how to reverse it, so that you use everything that you have ever become, everything that you carry with you, of whatever it is that you carry with you from your past, so that you can use that to your advantage. How the fuck to do that? That's what everybody's trying to do, right? Everybody's trying to change themselves in some easy manner, or some uh, recipe to turn their shit around into something that is supportive. And yeah, that is what I want to investigate. How to do that? Because what we need to look at, the way I see it right now, in this moment, is that we need to change our starting point. Because us humans have always, and for for a long time now, had the starting point of looking outside into ourselves. We've been looking outside, like from a mind perspective, looking at ourselves, observing ourselves endlessly in details, and with thought, thinking, and in the imagination, and in the projection, and in the personalities, and in the energies. And we're observing ourselves from the outside, from the mind perspective, from the box perspective. We are the mind, and we observe ourselves from the mind. I hope you can understand this. So we observe ourselves from another point, from the mind, and observe ourselves as who we are. Am I pretty enough? Am I strong enough? Am I cool enough? Am I thin enough? Am I brown enough? Am I white enough? Am I sexy enough? Whatever, you name it. We have all these images and ideas about what we should be like. And these limitations we are fighting for, sort of. And if we are confronted with these limitations, that if we are confronted with fighting for being whatever stereotype we project ourselves to be, we are threatened, and we go into defense and reacting. And so, what is my point? How do I change my shit to become something that is supportive for me, something that I can use in my everyday life? We change the starting point. We change from mind being in control over my ass, that I take control of my own eyes, my own ass, and leave the mind to just be mind. The mind is just there. I have worked through my mind all the components, all the bullshit, forgiving it in great detail, and walked through it. Know how it works, how it operates, how fast it moves, what it does, when it does what it consists of, and so on. It is there. I leave it in the darkness, and change my starting point as from standing within myself, in my physicality, looking out. How does that work? Well, it works. It is a possibility, and it is a case study that I hope you want to investigate. Because from standing within my body, my physical, looking out at my potential, at what I want to create, I see that something's changed here. Something's new. When I'm in my body looking out, there is a huge difference. And the difference is that I now use all my fuel, my energies, my past as a driving force, as a motivation for me. Because I've already walked it. I've become equal and one with it. I have walked it. I use this energy, this physicality, darkness, whatever you call it, within myself as my fuel, as I'm standing within myself, being stable and comfortable and firm and rooted and all that within my body, breathing, noticing, realizing that mind is there still to a somewhat large degree, but it's not the one that is directive. The mind, if the mind is directive, like it is with 99.9999% of people, the mind is directive. And that is a master-slave relationship where the mind is your master. That we need to come to terms with. You need to wake up and realize that, okay, this life is not about Hillary or Trump or whatever. It's about overcoming self and forgiving the mind, forgiving oneself for allowing the mind to be our master. That is why we are here. So we can end all wars and all fighting, all projections, all personalities and fear and emotions from slaving to mind. So, from walking with self-forgiveness, I see that when I then realize and take a stand within myself, within my physicality, looking out at my potential, at my being, I then can say, okay, now I use my story, my past, my energies, my whatever, my physicality, my matter, as a driving force to create a world that is best for all, to create something supportive for all, and so also supporting for me. I use my shit for something that is supportive, and that is Destiny Art Process in a brief description. That's what we do at Destiny. We reverse ourselves, sort of. We remove ourselves slowly and gradually and carefully and safely and securely from the mind, and we take responsibility and honesty, self-honesty, and charge and directing of our own life as our own physicality, as our own being, and we let mind be mind, doing what it's doing for our creative potential, but we are in control as our being, as our physicality. I'm standing within myself, my body, using that past, that motivation of my energies, my physicality, and that is how you reverse yourself. You change your life from being emotional, from being bothersome, from being a slave relationship to something that is supportive. Thank you very much. Investigate Destiny.